It's not uncommon to make split-second decisions that can alter the way of your life. Well, maybe not that dramatic, at least not for us simple people. But in Hollywood, that is certainly the case. Many actors have been guilty of making such decisions that have come back to bite them. In today's video, we'll be looking at the actors who ruin their careers in a matter of seconds. Starting with Randy Quaid. The first one on the list isn't quite one decision to ruin a career, but rather a combination of some. Quaid doesn't get a lot of credit for being a solid actor, especially in the comedy genre, but he did produce some classics. Vacation, Kingpin, and Independence Day stand out, and he was even nominated for an Oscar back in 1974. So what exactly went wrong for him? First of all, Randy and his wife were arrested in 2009 for not paying a staggering $10,000 hotel bill, and after that they were arrested again for squatting a house they used to own. The couple skipped town and moved to Canada, and while you might think that an actor not paying bills and squatting is weird, wait till you find out what they were up to in Canada. People assume that the Quaids were running from the law, but they claim to be running away from the organization named the Hollywood Star Whackers, who would take out celebs and create scandals about them. Since that time, they've been arrested once more and released again, but Randy won't be appearing on the big screen anytime soon. After that, Jennifer Grey, best known for playing Ferris Bueller's sister in Ferris Bueller's Day Off and also appearing in Dirty Dancing. Jennifer Grey's CV isn't one to laugh at. Now, most 80s darlings ended up doing well for themselves, but not Grey. It's somewhat of a shame. The beautiful actress was known for her nose, but as her career halted in the 90s, Jennifer decided to get a nose job, and it didn't help her cause at all. This is the perfect example of rushing into a decision, as it cost her big time because she was almost unrecognizable from the moment she left the operating table with her new tiny nose. Her career slowed down a bit more, and it wasn't until 2012 that Grey herself revealed how she regretted the decision to get a nose job. To be fair, she still kept at it and has appeared in some famous series over the years, but it's nowhere near the megastar she once was. Up next, Wesley Snipes. There's no way in hell you won't know who Wesley Snipes is, the star of the Blade trilogy. Snipes kept on rising and rising. He starred in a big role in White Man Can't Jump and also To Wong Foo, Thanks for Everything, and it seemed like he was the next big name emerging in Hollywood. And then the actor decided he won't be paying any taxes. Some people might wonder, what's the worst that could happen if you don't pay taxes? Well, a lot, especially if you're Wesley Snipes. His offenses were so terrible that he actually ended up going to jail and was found guilty of willfully not filing his taxes for 3 years. The actor had to pay back nearly $17 million in taxes and penalties, and as he couldn't make a sequel to Blade from jail, tax evasion pretty much ended his career. This should be a warning to every actor for filing their taxes, because imagine going down that route. It certainly is not worth it. For others who still want to risk it, well, Spain's not too far away. As far as Snipes is concerned, he staged something of a comeback after starring alongside Kevin Hart in True Story. Also, Michael Richards. We don't care if he actually appeared in other films or series, Michael Richards will always be remembered as Kramer from Seinfeld. One of the most loved sitcom characters of all time, Kramer would leave audiences laughing with his eccentric acting. But like others on the list, a split-second decision cost him his entire career. Richards was criticized by some person in the crowd, and he replied with a series of racial slurs, and folks, that's it. Someone filmed the video, and within days it was everywhere. Richards stopped his monologue to tell someone in the crowd that 50 years ago, they'd have you hanging upside down with an effing fork up your A. Instead of laughter, there were gasps. And while the man kept on shouting back at Richards, the actor used the N-word, and that was it for his career. Since then, he has apologized and insisted that he's not a racist, but his career has taken a downward trajectory, and he has limited TV appearances now too. Moving on, Lindsay Lohan. And someone who's been in the spotlight since she was 3, Lindsay Lohan realized her true potential in the late 90s and the early 2000s, with some fantastic flicks like Freaky Friday, Mean Girls, The Parent Trap, and Herbie Fully Loaded, but her career immediately halted in early 2007. In May of 2007, the actress was taken to the hospital after getting into a car accident in Beverly Hills, and this came soon after she'd gotten discharged from a rehab facility in LA. Eventually, though, her problem became clearer, and it was revealed that she'd been charged with DUI, possession of cocaine, and a hit and run. A few months later, she'd been arrested again after another unsuccessful stint in rehab, and it was curtains for her career. Some 14 years later, Lohan is still set for a return to a high-profile Christmas movie on Netflix, and we hope she's over her troubles with drugs and can find a way to kickstart her career. On to Amanda Bynes. Remember watching the extremely funny She's the Man? If you haven't, we'd suggest you get started on that right after this video. The star of the movie, Amanda Bynes, would go on to star in The Amanda Show, but like most actors of her generation, the actress ruined her career completely. Drugs and alcohol were massively responsible, but it was actually a Twitter meltdown that truly ruined her career. She's been arrested, and soon after her arrest, Bynes went off on Twitter claiming how she wanted Drake to murder her blank and taunted Rihanna that she got beaten by Chris Brown because she wasn't pretty enough. That wasn't all. Bynes also called Miley Cyrus a Jay-Z ugly and then called herself ugly too. Apparently, she also set her pants and a driveway on fire, and eventually she was placed in a psychiatric facility and diagnosed with bipolar disorder. She's still trying to stage a comeback, but is more interested in rap music and finishing up a degree and wisely laying low. Making the list is Jamie Kennedy. Starring in Scream and The Jamie Kennedy Experiment, Jamie's prospects faltered almost immediately. She would take on roles in flop films like Son of the Mask and then that weird little stint in Malibu's Most Wanted. But in this case, it was again a series of decisions that cost him his career. From making an off-color joke about Gangnam Style's Psy and calling him a little plastic bag holding fortune cookies to appearing in comedy sketches dressed up like a Native American chef, the fall from grace was horrid. He even missed the whole point of a New Year's show, which is the countdown, missing the mark by almost 10 seconds. And that eventually led to an end of his career, which should have come a lot sooner if we're being honest. Not to forget Warren Beatty. How can you possibly forget this one? At the 2017 Academy Awards, Warren Beatty and his co-presenter Faye Dunaway gave the Best Picture trophy to the wrong movie. What followed was pure chaos. Hollywood Reporter revealed that Beatty opened the envelope and rather than read the words, he passed the envelope to Dunaway. It appeared as if his brain had failed him, and Dunaway read out aloud what she thought was La La Land. It wasn't until Jordan Horowitz explained that Moonlight had won Best Picture, not La La Land, but all that is irrelevant because the loser from the night was Warren Beatty. The once legendary actor and filmmaker Beatty looked like the world had moved past him, and it was just a sad sight to witness. Ending with Minnie Driver. Dame Judi Dench is probably one of the best actresses of all time. She's got a lot of recognition by the various academies and has a humongous fan following too. So if someone publicly takes a shot at her, there's a good chance they might not make it out alive, as Minnie Driver would find out. She called Dench a small, round, middle-aged, lovely mothering type playing Cleopatra. As expected, there was a lot of reaction to her comments, especially after she said that Dench could melt into a crowd in a second, and she received a full hate from tabloids, which she probably deserved. Driver would go on to appear in many films after that, but definitely not in the UK. Well, that's a wrap for this video. Which of these actors' actions surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. We'll see you in the next one.